What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Gloryhammer. Yes, indeed, Gloryhammer Fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Declane, and this is actually Declane's prioritized request for the month of July for being a Silver Tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Declane. Hope you enjoy the show. Declan wanted to see me react to this. It is Gloryhammer with a tune entitled He Has Returned. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Napalm Records. Oh boy, yes, good old Napalm. And the video has 1.7 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Gloryhammer. He has returned. Official video. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, there's the word official coming off of their official page. And there, right there, there it is. Napalm Records right there. Yeah, I've had some issues with Napalm in the past. So, we have to just kind of take this one step at a time, I guess. I'm going to make a prediction right now before I push the start button. I'm going to make a prediction that the last 20 seconds of the video is going to be advertisements for other songs from Gloryhammer or other Napalm Records projects. They're notorious for this. So, I'm making that prediction right now. I'm calling my shot. So, we'll see what happens. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
You can hear the bass clear as day in this mix. That's nice. podcast. And I was like, we got a guitar solo coming up here. F sharp, right? The F sharp to the D to the A to the E. Back to the F sharp to the D to the E to resolve. And then wash, rinse, repeat. It's catchy. It's hooky. It sounds good. It's pleasing to the ear. I like the usage of the major against the minor. Got no issue with that. Sounds really good. The biggest thing for me, though, don't get me wrong. The chordal progression's nice. Okay, the musicianship across the board, it's solid. It's tight. I got no issue with anything I'm hearing there. I'm really, on a side note, I'm really glad to hear the bass as forward in the mix as it is. That's always a nice, pleasing thing for us bass players. The thing that's really doing this for me more than anything, it's the subdivision work. And to be more specific, the syncopated subdivision work. When everybody's playing in unison, everybody's playing the exact same rhythmic line. Stuff like that, where everybody's playing the exact same pattern all together in unison. I like that. One of the reasons I like it is because it is so clean. It is so tight. Now, listen, I understand this is a studio recording, okay? I get it. And Pro Tools is a thing. And there's a lot that happens in Pro Tools that people do not know about, either because they don't want to know about it or they just haven't been exposed to Pro Tools enough. I mean, I'm not sure. But Pro Tools is a real thing, and it does a lot of the heavy lifting for bands these days. I will say this. They've got to be able to play this in some fashion. They got to at least get it close, right? In order for Pro Tools to fix the things up. What would really impress me is if I heard them play this song live. If I got the chance to hear them play this song in a live setting where Pro Tools is not a factor, I'll tell you right now, I would be more impressed. I would absolutely be more impressed. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sounds good. I like what I'm hearing. And like I said, the strongest thing going for it is that subdivision work, without question. But I always have to be a little skeptical. I always have to, I know a lot of people say, you take the fun out of it. Well, it's not an issue of me taking the fun out of it. I've been exposed to this stuff for a long time. I've been in this industry for a long time. I've seen how Pro Tools has evolved over decades and how much Pro Tools is utilized in modern recording situations. I've seen firsthand just how much heavy lifting Pro Tools does and the engineers do that utilize Pro Tools, just how much they fix things behind the scenes. I'm not saying this band in particular, but I've seen bands who, I'm going to be honest with you folks, you talk about Pro Tools doing most of the heavy lifting. How about 90% of the song was fixed in Pro Tools because the musicians just could not pull it off. I'm not even kidding. I am not even kidding. But I like what I'm hearing. It's a good listen. Let's get back into this and let's see where this goes. I do believe we have a guitar solo here. original was there, but it enhanced. It didn't take over. It didn't become the lead. Yeah. Oh, credits. Great. I'm a little surprised. We didn't get advertisements. Usually Napalm Records is right on top of those things. Instead, we got credits. And you guys know how I feel about credits. Credits are fine. I get the point of credits, but they have absolutely zero impact on my score or on my reaction because it's not part of the song. So, anyway, yeah, I think I know what I'm going to say. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Gloryhammer with He Has Returned. This was a request from Declane. And this was actually Declane's prioritized request for the month of July for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Declane. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. Let's jump right into this. Starting off with the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, 7.8. What does that mean? Well, a 7.8 would translate to a really good skill rating because overall, I think this was a really good song. It would get 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go, a 7.8, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. It's a really good song. It is. There's a lot of really good things going for it. It sounds good. It's pleasing to the ear. It's a comforting song. It absolutely is. And what I mean by that is this. A lot of people put a very negative context on the word predictable.
I respectfully disagree.
I don't think there's anything negative about songwriting being quote-unquote predictable. Chordal progressions, you can see them coming. You know that, when we go from the root, we go down, like we're on the F sharp, and we go down to the D, and then we go down to the A. Well, where are we going to go next? More than likely, we're going to go down to the E from there. Sure enough, we did. And then we go back up to the F sharp, and then down to the D, and we go to the E to resolve that phrase. Okay, we saw that coming a mile away. Okay, let's be honest here. But here's the thing. Just because we saw it coming a mile away doesn't mean it sounds bad. Nope, doesn't sound bad. It sounds good. It's pleasing to the ear. Why? Because other bands have done it before in the past and have had great success. So why not? Why not follow in their footsteps? Why not take the same path? Why not take what they've done, maybe not the same key, maybe not the same speed, maybe not the same chordals, not the same chord to start on, maybe not starting on the same root, maybe not being in the same, key signature or even time signature. But in this case, it was the same time signature probably because it was in 4/4. It's a very predictable, time signature, very comfortable time signature, I should say. And we followed that chordal progression that lots of other bands have done and had great success with. I don't see the problem. I really don't. It sounds good. It's pleasing to the ear. It's comforting in a lot of ways. And the song definitely had a lot of comforting things going for it. The tempo, upbeat, driving, had a nice drive, had nice energy, nice feel. Now, it wasn't too fast. No, I don't think it was too fast. I don't think so. I think it could have been faster. Now, here's the thing. If we had gone faster, would that have affected the song? in a negative way? Some people might say yes. Whenever we get to a certain point in speed where speed becomes the most important thing, speed becomes the focus. Forget about chordal progression, forget about melodic lines, forget about harmonies, forget about counter melodics, forget about any type of theory. It's just how fast can you go? Well, at that point, everything else becomes secondary, but that wasn't the case here. It had a nice tempo. It definitely had the push. It definitely had the drive, but it wasn't the focus. The focus was on more than anything. I think the focus was on the layering. We had a lot of layering happening in this song. Layers within the vocals, layers within the guitars, layers within, I hate to say it, but layers within the digital samplings and such. But here's the thing about those digital samplings. I know I've been very critical of bands in the past who utilize digital samplings, but I've always made a point to pre-frame it like this. I may not be the biggest fan of digitals. I may not be the biggest fan of those, EDM, samples and stuff. But if it's done tastefully and it doesn't take away from the focus of the song, then I got no problem with it. For me, the biggest focus of the song, besides the musicianship, musicianship was really nicely done across the board. I wouldn't say anything was all that impressive when it comes to notation. We've heard it done before with other bands, including this band here on the channel. So nothing was mind-blowing. Nothing was, oh my God, I've never heard that before. Yes, we have. For me, the biggest thing, the most impressive thing about the song was the subdivision work. In particular, the syncopated subdivision work. When everybody was playing the exact same rhythmic pattern at the exact same time. As cleanly executed as it was, as tight as it was. Now, like I said, Pro Tools these days does a lot of heavy lifting in the studio. It absolutely does. And it's, I get it. It's more cost effective for the record labels to rely on Pro Tools more than on musicians, okay? When you have, I'm going to use this example. When you have a guitar solo and it's 16 measures and you've done 84 takes, and here comes take number 85. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. It gets redundant. It gets old, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time and takes a lot of resources. And in the music industry, time is money. The longer we're here, the more money the producer has to put out. And like I said, time is money. So would it make more sense from a cost effectiveness standpoint? Would it make more sense to pay the engineer, 7 or 8 hours of wages to do 86, 87, 88 takes? Or would it make more sense to have that same engineer record a guitar solo and take, 3 takes, maybe 3 or 4 takes, and spend an hour doing that, okay? And then spend another 2 hours in the engineering studio fixing it up and cleaning it up. 3 hours of work versus 7, 8, 10 hours of work. What's more cost effective? I think you see where I'm going with this. And I hate to make this sound like a business, but guys, it's the music business. It's the music industry, okay? Record labels are in this to make money. That's all they care about. And if they can do it for as cheap as possible to make their profit margins as big as possible, trust me when I say this, they're going to do that route. They absolutely are. So how much of this was done in post? I don't know. I wasn't there in the recording studio. Maybe it was all done in post. Maybe none of it was done in post. I have no idea. I will say this. If I had seen them play this song live and they had been just as clean with their subdivision work, their syncopation, if they had been just as clean in a live setting as they were here in a studio setting, I'll tell you right now, I would have been more impressed. And I'm going to be honest with you, we would have been up in the 8s, more than likely. I don't know where in the 8s, maybe 8.2, maybe 8.5, maybe 8.7 or 8.8. I don't know. It depends on how impressively done it was and how cleanly done it was. But in a studio setting, I know it comes off as cynical, but guys, when you've been in the industry as long as I've been in it, it's hard not to become a little jaded. I'll be the first to admit I'm jaded. But you have to take these things into account. You absolutely do. It sounded good. It sounded clean. It was well executed in a studio setting. Okay, but that can only take you so far. So, but a 7.8, still getting a really good score. Absolutely. I had absolutely no problem listening to this, and I would have no problem listening to this again. In conclusion, I'm not going to get into the whole discussion about what the song was about. Guys, everyone's going to have their opinion. Everyone's going to have their theories. Everybody's going to have their insight into what the song was about, the subject of the song. To me, good versus evil, okay? And even then, good versus evil, that's a matter of perspective. I really wish, now that Disney has taken over Star Wars, unfortunately, I really wish that Disney would create a show telling the story of what's going on from the side of the Empire's point of view. Because, guys, the Empire thinks they're doing everything right. They think they're in the right. They believe that their cause is righteous, and they're trying to bring order to the galaxy. And these meddling rebels are throwing the monkey wrench in. They're causing anarchy, and they've got to be stopped before they bring the entire galaxy into chaos, you know? I really wish Disney would write a show and come up and develop a show from the Empire's point of view, just to get a little bit of a different perspective. You know what I mean? Then again, I always root for the bad guys. So, I see this as good versus evil. You can take it in whatever direction you want, and we'll just leave it at that. But, and when it comes to the whole good versus evil thing, again, even that is a point of contention and perspective. So, in any case, 7.8, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.8, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then, by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.